Okay, hello everyone. This is the Intel session. So firstly, I would like to thank Intel team. Just a minute. Yeah. So I would like to first thank the Intel team, Alex, Mirav, Natalie, Dori, Svetlana, and Semyon for being here and agreeing to introduce us to Intel Israel. And its hiring procedure and other in-depth details, which will be significant to the students and postdocs who would like to further their careers in industry, especially in Intel. So before we begin, I just want to urge the audience to ask as many questions as they want using the chat facility or personally through raise hand facility. And it will be awesome if people can keep their cameras on just to make things lively and keep yourselves muted unless you want to ask the question. Okay, so Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, so we came here, as you see, we are right now. I see Dori and Natalie is here. Natalie? So Svetlana? Okay, so we just wanted to show you like the typical Intel engineer that did his PhD at the university. Okay, so this is a topic. So we have a lot of engineers that they don't have PhD, and this is a big difference. So I think we'll start from Dori. She's first here. And she'll tell us why she chose Intel as her career path. Dori, can you present? She's talking, she's mute. Can you unmute her, please?
Yes, sorry. I am disabled from sharing my screen, so if you can enable.
Yeah, this is the Zoom. Yeah, sorry again, because we prohibited to use Zoom at Intel. We use Teams. This was the regulation.
No problem. Okay, Dori, you can go ahead and share.
Yes, I see.
Can you present? Oh, okay. Yeah, very good.
Okay. So I just did some slides on why did I choose to work in Intel and where did I start from. So I did my PhD in chemistry in the Hebrew University. My dissertation was on chemically modified nanoparticles exhibiting stimuli-controlled response. And then I did my postdoc also in the Hebrew University because of the same reasons that Michal also said, because of the family and children and trying to persuade the husband to leave his work, which is impossible. My husband is a journalist for Palestinian affairs and he has nothing to do out of Israel. So it was kind of a no-go. That's why I did my postdoc eventually in the Hebrew University as well. After that, I was a lecturer at Paris Academic Center in Rehovot until I got to Intel 3 years ago. And as you can see, changing all the lab facilities with all the gas pipes and the chemicals to this that I have today, it's quite a big difference. You are not really touching anything wet, but your computer with several screens. So what do we do in Intel? What do I do as a PhD and a postdoc in Intel? Well, you can, basically you never know how your day will look like when you arrive to work, because it can be that something happened and now it's something urgent is going on that you have to take care of. But the three basic tasks that I am doing is integrative investigation of the inline parameters that we have and we follow to check that every wafer will be perfect. I'm doing it with big data analysis and, of course, the deep understanding of the process that you need for investigating things. As Alex said, we have something like 300 machines that one wafer is going through the whole line, almost 1,000 procedures. Another thing that we are lately doing, we have projects on process effectiveness, productivity improvement, and cost reduction. How can we improve everything, the quality, speed, results, and of course, lowering the cost. And the last, but not least, training of other engineers is a very important task that we have for the development of the capability of the organization. But we do not just give, we also get a lot in return, as you can see here. And when I arrived to Intel and I started to see what's going on, I said, no, it's impossible to learn everything here. I mean, it's such a big amount of knowledge that I thought I will never be able to learn. I am, up until today, I think that I know a very little part of what we are doing. So there are endless possibilities of learning, and you just have to find them and want to learn them. And we also have a lot of opportunities for personal development. And then, of course, because we are working in small teams and we have to be a team worker, you have to know your team. So we have fun days for the soul and for the team building. That is very important for effective working together. So this is not for the advertisement, but if you are a team player, open-minded, up for challenges, as I said, that we never know what's going on the next day. So we have a lot of challenges. What we basically do in our during our day is we are solving problems. So if you like solving problems and riddles and like a dynamic work environment, and not afraid of hard but benefiting work, because we work hard in Intel, but we like working hard because we want us to succeed, then, well, it's a very good place to work.
Okay. Let's go to the next presentation. Then we'll probably have two questions to all of us, right, Dori? Do you agree?
Yeah,
sure.
First, I just want to ask you to let's just tell everyone which branch you are and how many branches are there in Israel of Intel. Is it possible?
We are in Kiryat Gat, which is the manufacturing.
Which is the manufacturing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Alex, go ahead.
Yeah. So Natalie, you there?
Natalie, you're muted.
Yeah, can you unmute him? Yeah, so go ahead.
Okay.
So just a few words about the Intel as whole in Israel. It's around 11,000 people, workers, and we are in Haifa, we are in Kiryat Gat, we are in where else? Petah Tikva, Jerusalem, so all over the place, right? So we are from Kiryat Gat specifically. from the production facility. Okay, go ahead, please.
Hi. Alex, do you have a presentation for me, or just we'll say a few words?
If you don't have a presentation, just say a few words.
I do have one. I can share the screen.
Words are more important than slides, in my opinion.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Let's see. Okay. Mm. Okay. I don't think you guys see my screen, do you?
You can see your screen. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it.
You see? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so hi, I'm Natalie. I work in the same group with Alex in a Dryage department. I did my PhD in materials engineering in Ben Gurion University. And after that, I continued to postdoc in Santa Barbara in UCSB. And after that, I decided that I don't want to continue in the academy. I want to make real products in manufacturing. And I worked for 4 years in Elbit System developing capacitors. And for the last 5 years, I work in Intel as a process engineer. So what I prepared for you guys is some slides about a process engineer in Intel and a typical workday of a process engineer. So being process engineer in Intel is similar to what Dory mentioned before, is mainly teamwork. As a team, we're responsible for a segment of operations, of procedures that the wafer go through the process. We're responsible for the machines, we're responsible to the parametrics of those operations. And we cooperate with the different groups in Intel, such as integration, different laboratories when we're doing experiments on our process. Of course, we work with a process engineer, always work with the mechanical engineers that are responsible for the machine working well. Well, process engineer more responsible for performance of the machine. And talking about a typical day of a process engineer in Intel is basically that we don't have a typical day, because every day something different happens. Sometimes we have experiments that we're running, and sometimes we have to troubleshoot one of the tool that is broken, or some operations that don't perform well. So the work is very interesting, very dynamic. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, let's go to Simeon and then go for questions.
Okay.
Simeon, are you there?
Just a second, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You can present. Just make it quick. People want to ask something, in case they want to ask something.
Yeah. My presentation, how and why I choose to pursue my career at Intel. So my background is I have PhD from mechanical engineer at BGU. I worked at like research science at BGU, also at Perigon API. My skills are basically learning, hands-on experiments, modeling, programming. So when I choose my career path, I just decided what factors are interesting to me. I made some table for short overview what I have at Intel and like what we can have at our workplaces. And basically, major contribution of my decision to pursue continue my career at Intel was related to this table. Like R&D action, you have in Intel, it's very appreciated. Like you have many technology resources you can work on, like hands-on experiments. And basically, if you decide to choose some career path, you may like this organize your thoughts, basically what you have and what you can deserve or strive to have. And that's why I choose the Intel. And my usual workday in Intel have just defined from key examples of risk assessment. It has many benefits for cost, learning, technology, and process improvement. Like I said before, we have in-pub tools, and we need just game plan to work on. Another example, like to improve process effectiveness and productivity improvement. Benefits is prediction, cost, work environment proliferation. Just what we need for it is modeling, automation, programming. And last example is like customer concern. Like we have many customers, it's internal, external customers may have some questions, have feedback, training, and continuous development. Setup, we have databases, either inline or offline. We can learn, we can benefit, we can collaborate between groups. To conclude, I just want to say from my personal experience, stay always positive, be open-minded, and go for your dream or for what you deserve to plan in your life. So I'll be happy to answer some questions.
Thank you so much.
So
Alex,
I guess only one gentleman here, I guess, left. All the audience to ask questions. So Omri.
Omri, if you want to ask any question, otherwise I'll move on to ask questions. Oh, okay, no problem. You can put your question in the chat if you want. Sure.
Something. I don't have a microphone. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, what? Sure, sure. No problem. Alex, you will translate. By the time Omri asked the question, I'll continue with one question, which is the type of positions that are available in your branch, like the type of positions and the qualifications needed for that. If you can share us a bit on that.
The type of positions, well, we're all engineers, but just telling you that all engineers just tells you nothing, because we have a variety of specialties like material science, chemistry, mechanical engineering, somehow people that computing skills, so they can build, they can code, okay? So all of these, and managerial skills, of course, right? So all of these are soft skills, as we call them. So this all is welcome. I mean, all those in the fab, right? I'm not talking about Haifa or Petah Tikva. They are more programmers or electrical engineers are coming. But also in the Fab 28, they also have electrical engineers, like device people or ill people. So they are direct engineers. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of. Okay, so we have a question from Omri. Okay, so he's a chemical engineer and he's about to finish his master's and has some basic knowledge on semiconductor processes. So he's just wondering what will give him an edge in employment if he decides to work for Intel, and the hiring process that might be involved there.
The edge, you mean if he goes for the interview, what should he say?
Yeah.
there's no clear instruction, but what I would
what are
say,
you looking for? What
yeah,
are you looking for?
yeah, I just said,
Alex, I can answer this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
First, one thing that I would like to say that currently, just in this period of time, we have no hiring. We will have, and I guess you all heard that we are enlarging our clean room and we will have much more. But at this specific point, we don't have currently a hiring. But when you're coming to an interview, first, we're looking for two things. One is your professional. So you will be asked professional questions about if you are a veteran, if you have any experience about the work that you've done in your experience, or if you are just in the university, about the research and the people that will interview. You would like to know that you understand what you are talking about. You know what you are talking about, and you really did what you said you did. The other thing is the soft skills. We would like people that are very passionate, that really wants to work, that are curious, people that know how to work very good in a team, people that can take responsibility and wants to work hard. This is the main thing. Sometimes someone can be more professional than the other one, but the other one is very, very, very passionate. And in the long run, we know that he will be better. Even if in the beginning, the one that is very professional, maybe he will give us more deliverables. But the one that is very, very passionate, maybe in the short term, he will give us less deliverables, but in the long run, we know he will be a good employee. So what I suggest is you need to read about the company. You need to understand where you're going. I suggest you to talk. If you know someone from Intel, talk with him. Be ready. Know what you're talking about. Know your profession. Know your work at university. That's it.
Thanks, Mirav. Okay, I have another question.
Can I also add something here?
Yeah, sure.
You said that you have only a little a basic knowledge in semiconductor process. As I told you, when I came to Intel and I saw all the knowledge that is there and everything you will meet in Intel, I think you will have to learn from the beginning. So it doesn't really matter if you know anything or nothing on semiconductors. What Intel is looking for is people who can learn quickly and are team workers. They have the passion for solving problems and working hard.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Dory. But as you said, that we need some skills, like soft skills, like managing or working with other people. So it's just, it might be a stupid question. Like in an interview, during an interview, how do you assess that? I mean, people might have a lot of like a huge CV of organizing this and that, but how do you really assess if the
I can
person
answer that.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we would ask about previous work or about cooperation with the students during the engineering project. We just would ask, how was it? Which problems did you have with your coworkers, and how did you solve it? And,
that's great. Okay.
Yeah, and that's how we would understand if how the people skills and how the team working in this case.
And maybe the people who interview you will give you a problem and will want to know how you will solve it. And it's not, even if you didn't solve it, it doesn't mean that you failed. We just want to see how you are trying to solve a problem.
Exactly.
Great, thanks.
In part of our processes, we also have a test on the computer to see how you solve problems, how you deal with things. And just as like Dory said, it's not that we want to see the problem is solved. We want to see the process of your thinking. And those exams test this. And after that, you have an interview. Your interviewers are very, very professional. They have a lot of experience, and they know how to understand what you're doing. As Natalie said, if we asked you about your experience, how you solved problem in the past, we can understand how you are thinking, what you are doing, how you solve problems, how you deal with the problems, etc.
Nice, thanks. So it's like first you like what are the steps of interviews? Like first you, I mean, are there 2-3 steps or a single one? I mean, how does it work?
Usually we have a very quick process. The first step is the exam, the written exam. That was built exactly for our needs. It's not a general test that you can see in the internet. It's something that we ask. Those are the things that we want to see in our employees. So this is the first thing. It's logical questions. It's how you behave, etc. If you pass this, the second step is interview with 2 interviewers. Most of the time, this is enough. Sometimes we want another interview because we didn't have time to ask all the questions, or we were not sure, or we saw that the employee, the candidate, sorry, is very suitable to one role, but not to the role that I'm interviewing now. So we look at the one intel. So we want to see if I interview someone that I think is not a good candidate for my role, but he is very, very good candidate, and he may be good for another group, so he will have another interview. So in 80% of the time, it's one interview. In 20%, 2 interviews.
Great, thanks. So okay, yeah, there is a question in the chat, and it's a very important question for me as a foreign national, which is that if you hire people from other countries, like who are studying here or who finished their postdoc here, or I mean, or if you have a collaborative work with them. So if you can comment on that.
We look at this case by case. It's not a policy that we have. As you see, we need English. So if people don't know to speak Hebrew, it's okay with us. This is not the issue. There are legal things in the Israeli policy, so we can do it, but it's case by case. I can't give you one answer for all.
Yeah. So
and
I mean,
someone asked if it can drop the CV. It's irrelevant just now, but I do suggest to let me know your details, and we will contact you when it will be relevant. So I do suggest yes, to let us know.
So Mirav, another thing is like you said that it depends on person to person. So it's not completely. I mean, there is a possibility for foreign national to be
Yes,
employed.
there is a possibility. We need to work it out to see what is your state, how, if you are Israeli, if you're not, what do you have here? It's a lot of questions, so I can't
Yeah.
answer just like that. But
Yeah.
it can be possible.
Ah, that's good to know, because as far as I knew from the past is that they don't hire at all foreign nationals. So this is a good thing, good possibility. So yeah, thanks for that. And another question is, yeah. Okay, so another question I wanted to ask
Yeah, they asked
was,
for my email.
Mirav, you want to say something?
I'm printing my email address. So
Okay.
if someone wants to send me the CVs, here it is.
Thanks. Okay. Okay. So I wanted to ask another question, which is, if you can tell us if there is, I mean, what kind of, what's the pay scale for the beginners? If you can share this with us.
I just can say that it's not the highest in Israel, but it's good enough, and it depends in so many things. How many years of experience you have? What did you study? So many things that I can't say. You will have XILS, but it's a good salary. Not the best in Israel, but it's good. But in addition to the salary, I think this is the most important thing. In addition to the salary, we have so many benefits. First we have bonuses. It depends. Every year it's something else, but in the last years it was, I think, at least 3 salaries. And then we have insurance, we have food, we have it's so many things that the salary, it's much more higher than what you get in your monthly pay.
Ah, thanks. That's
And
good
we
to
have
know.
a few kinds of bonuses: the Israeli bonus, the corporate bonus, etc. So
Stocks.
it's not bad. Stocks, yeah, that's right. We have stocks.
Nice. Okay. And just one more question. Do you have like a joint policy with the academia? Like if there is, let's say I'm a postdoc in someone's lab and I will also want to work with Intel. So is there a joint, is a collaborative policy or a joint project, possibility of joint project? Or has that?
There are joint projects. I had students this year from Tel Aviv University that I was their advisor. So they Intel's employee students that did their engineering project in Tel Aviv University joined with Intel. So I was their advisor from Intel.
This is also another way around. If you are Intel employee, you may go and learn next degree, second degree, first degree. I don't think about third degree. It's questionable, but at least first, the second, you can go and do it being the Intel employee. So even Intel will pay you for that. So this is the so you'll do a project, right? Like a master project or something.
Ah, okay. Okay, so we are about to end the session. Just one last question, and it's like an open sort of question. I just wanted to ask if, if there is any experience of problems, or like in the past you faced a problem during your fabrication process or any other process in your, at your workplace. So is there any incident that you can share with us and how you took care of that problem, and what did you learn from that? It would be awesome to hear about it.
Yeah, this is, I guess, a lot of IP in that. Also, you see then you start talking about Intel process or day-to-day job. When I came to Intel, my first week, or first month, I understood nothing, because it's all of the abbreviations and this and that. So people are talking to me. I'm sitting on the task force or working group, and I tell them, look, you know what? I will write everything down. I will go work, ask my coworkers, what is that? What do you want from me? So this is pointless here to explain or the real issue and how to solve the issue, because it's really gibberish in terms of language. But in general, first of all, the problems are few. There are a lot of problems, because you can understand that FAB works 24 hours a day. The only one day FAB stops. This is Yom Kippur. And then FAB works, the tools are working, you have endless problems. In terms of manufacturing, in terms of quality of the product, in terms of the output of the product, and all of that. And all these problems, they need attention of the engineer. It does mean that you are going to solve all these problems, because normally if you have a real problem, we are calling the meeting that calls task force, and a lot of people are coming to help. So they sit together and think how to solve it, right? But of course, in my opinion, that people, open-minded people like PhDs, they did already project at universities, or even after a postdoc, they capable to solve the problems much better and much faster. This is the upshot of it.
Okay, thank you. So, like, there is no, like, you cannot say about any, like, personal experience. Like, let's say we all understand chemistry or chemical engineering a bit. So, if you can share just a little bit of your a process that was like a problem that you faced during that process. Something like,
yeah, in general, let's say you come in the morning to the FAB and you have I don't know 100 wafers came to sort, so they are not functioning, okay, and you have to know why. And this, it takes you chemistry, it takes your knowledge of the tools, it takes you the sort capability to understand what is really failing, the e-test capability to understand why it's failing, and all of kind of things. It's several groups. You just cannot do everything by yourself. You have to collect data, also data mining, of course, because you really to get to the problem statement, you have to get to the data and understand what is really failing, right? And then you go and you have to figure out why it's failing. And this is the real work here.
I also think that as a PhD, you are not the one who will be a on-the-hand job. I mean, many times I say that we are the brain and they are the people who are the hands. So you are just thinking about what can be the problem, and then you are telling someone, can you please check this on the machine and tell me and send me the results, and then you're, well, everything, most of the things are through your computer. You can reach your machines through the computer from home most of the time. And as Alex said, it's a lot of teamwork. You will not necessarily know everything by yourself. You have to know to whom to go, to who to ask from different groups.
Right, so this is soft skills. That's what I'm talking about. That's why it's so important. because you have to be in good connection to everybody. Otherwise, it's hard to solve a problem.
I'd like to add something. It's a part of collaborative work, but it strongly depends by the position.
Simeon, we can't hear you properly.
I'll just add a small thing. It's a part of all work we're doing. It's a part of a collaborative work. It's part of something bigger. It strongly depends by your position, what your knowledge. So you contribute group to improve some process.
Thank you. Okay. Any questions from the audience?
We have 4 folks here, I see in the audience.
Yeah. Okay, so if there are no more questions, we can end it here. I just wanted to tell you that it was, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah. I visited like I guess 3 years ago, Intel Kiryat Gat, and it was really fascinating. And I have a lot of questions, but we don't have time. So maybe I will contact one of you by email if possible.
Sure.
And, yeah, thank you so much.
One more question before we close. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Tell me, I work at Technion now. I'm a lab manager, and I come from I'm a mechanical engineer. I work in a department of material science. Do you in the Intel Center in Haifa? Do you have open positions there for lab workers? If you know,
the lab workers.
Yeah. For, I'm not
we have a lab, but as Mirav said, we're not currently hiring. But things may change very fast, right? So the lab is there, and we have a lot of equipment in the lab: SAM, SIM stuff, infrared, all kind of very expensive and good machines, and the people are working in the lab. So I think this is durable. I mean, then it will be hiring process begin. You can, you know who you're asking for, but this person can apply.
So so can just check for jobs in the website, or you have to...
It's always better to know.
Just give your email, so you can just.
Yeah, I just gave my email. I can write it down again. You can just write to me, put your CVs, and I will keep it for further needs.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm writing it again. If you would like me to look for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I just posted Mirav's email address. You can. Yeah.
I'll send my CV. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Intel, for being here with us and sharing everything that you do. And
thank you for organizing all that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Bye.